Hello everyone, Matt from Model Minutes here and welcome back to the workbench. Today I'm taking a look at another mystery boxing from Airfix. So what I've actually done is I've bought one of their Airfix Aircraft Mystery Bundles, which you can see on the screen here, and also I went for the mystery aircraft. So the idea here is that you get something random when you make your purchase, and ideally it should be cheaper than the value you paid for it. So first up, let's take a look at the mystery aircraft, just a single offering. So you put this in your basket, you don't know what you're going to get, but hopefully it should be a little bit better value. So what I got was this one. This is the Percival Jet Provost T3 T4. Now I don't actually have this boxing. This is a, what date are we looking at on here? 2024 release, so last year's release, and it features a couple of interesting paint schemes. So this originally would have been £11.99 by itself, but because we paid for it using the mystery boxing, it was actually only £10, which means we've made a little bit of a saving. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that one. So now let's look at the actual bundle that we got. And by the way, make sure you stick around because this one gets a little bit crazy. So first up, let's start with the smallest kit. The smallest kit that we got in the bundle would be the Messerschmitt ME262. So this is actually really quite good because I've recently just done the Revell one and now I have the opportunity to do a bit of a comparison. You'll notice that the box has a little bit of a dent in it, and that did come to me like that. I think it's basically from they tried to stuff as much as they could in the box, so things are a little bit creased, but hopefully we don't have any problems. A couple of different paint schemes on here which look pretty good as well, and this is a 2017 tooling, and this particular boxing comes from 2023, so possibly they're trying to shift a little bit of old stock, but that's still a nice addition, one I've not experienced before, so that will be definitely something I'm looking forward to building. The next one is something a bit bigger, a Seafire in 1/48 scale. Again, a kit I've not experienced. So this is coming up quite well at the moment. The last mystery boxing I did, I wasn't particularly impressed, but this one, to me at the moment, is looking pretty decent. You get 3 different paint schemes in the box of this. They all look pretty cool. And then if we flip over, we'll see that this is a slightly older tooling from 2011, and the boxing we have here is from 2023, so only a couple of years old. Again, probably trying to clear a little bit of stock to make some space. Let's move on to something a little bit bigger, kind of. This is the Boeing Chinook, again a kit that I have not yet bought or experienced, and you can see a very interesting artwork on there, and we've got a couple of interesting paint schemes there too. Possibly I'd probably go for this one. I wonder if this one would be easy to do rather than replicating that one, but if we flip over to this side, we can see that this is a 2024 tooling, and this kit actually is from 2025, so this is like this year's range, so that's like almost brand new, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that one. I mean, helicopters are not necessarily my favorite, but it will be an interesting build, no doubt. And then the last kit that we got, going a bit bigger, so it probably won't fit in my workspace, is the B-24 Liberator, and this one has a couple of different paint schemes in it, one in a sort of a desert pink and then one in an olive drab. And if we flip over to this side, the tooling information, again, this was a 2024 tooling, and this kit is from 2025, so this year's release. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice selection. Not only did we get all of that, but we did get a little bonus freebie. The bonus freebie, we've seen them before. It's these sort of coasters. They're like vinyl, and they have like a Velcro pad on the back, so you can stick it on like as a patch, or you could use it as a coaster. I don't really care about that, but let's see what the prices were. The Liberator originally retailed for $49.99. The Chinook is $34.99, as is the Spitfire or Seafire, and the 262 is $17.99. Not forgetting that you can actually buy these coasters at £5 a piece. So if you see on the screen here, you can see that I've worked out the math, and actually that works out at about a 37% discount. So that's pretty decent. However, now this is where things start to get a bit crazy, because at the time when I was looking at purchasing this to make this video, they actually had another deal. They had a Thanksgiving deal, and yes, I know some people aren't a fan of the fact that, you know, Thanksgiving is quite a United States kind of holiday, but to be honest, if we start complaining about Airfix having to find excuses to give us kits for free, they're going to stop doing it. So, you know, I don't need Airfix to give us an excuse for free. Basically, if you spent over a certain amount, which I definitely did for this bundle, then you would get a tank bundle for free thrown in. So let's have a look and see what we got. We got a Sherman Firefly. This is your standard starter set. Comes with a couple of paints and things. I've already built this, so I'm not too fussed about this one, but for a freebie, pretty cool. This is a 2020 kit and a 2020 release. So yeah, it's all right. I've built it. It's a perfectly fine kit. The next one is the Tiger 1. Now this one is not the same as the starter set Tiger 1 I've done. Although it does contain the same parts, it actually contains extra parts for additional details. So this is like a more complicated release. It does come with 2 paint schemes as well, and again you'll see that it's a 2020 tooling and a 2020 release. But yeah, I've not experienced this one, so that will be interesting. And then finally, one of their new quick build Shermans. So this is a bit like Lego. It's a construction toy. It's 1/35 scale. Pretty interesting. I'll probably have a go at that on a live stream. I don't think these actually tell us like tooling dates or anything, but I remember that this isn't particularly old, maybe a year or two in the design. I remember it being announced as part of their range. So that was pretty cool. We got these 3 tanks for nothing, for free, just because we bought other things. So this tank bundle by itself, if you look on the screen, should be a recommended retail price of $43.97, but because it was completely free, that's 100% discount, isn't it? So bearing in mind that I bought an mystery aircraft kit, I bought a mystery bundle of aircraft, I got a free sort of tank set thrown in, what do we get from that? What's the sort of discount? Well, let's add it all up. As you can see on the screen there, the entire RRP should be £196.93, and I only would have spent £99.99 for the Airfix Aircraft Bundle and the Mystery Aircraft, and these came free. So realistically, we're getting a 50% or well, 49% discount, which is really good. It's basically half price for everything. But then don't forget that technically, if you're a member of the club, or you can find a discount code online, sometimes they send out discount codes, you can actually add that on and it kind of stacks. So you actually end up paying a little bit less. And don't forget that if you're a member of the club, you get hobby points as well, which is almost like 10% back, which you can spend later in the future. So yeah, this was actually like a kind of a crazy sort of bundle for me, having all of these kits and not spending, you know, in comparison, a great deal. It's basically 50%. So actually, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. It is worth mentioning that just because what I've shown you here was in my bundle doesn't mean that if you go and purchase a bundle today that you would get the same kits included. They do like to rotate it, and I even saw online someone else posted on social media their bundle from around the same time I bought mine, and they had some different kits in there. So there's no guarantee of what you'll get. Last time I did a bundle, I wasn't particularly impressed with it. This time, however, much more excited. Yeah, okay, the tanks were basically a freebie. This one probably worth a bit of a look, but I've done that one before. And I think all of the aircraft, that one will be good to do because I've already done the Rebelle one, so it'll be nice to see what it's like in comparison. This one will be fun to do because it will go next to my Sea Fury. The Chinook is almost brand new, so that'll be really cool to see. And so's the B-24, and that's quite a big kit. That'll be quite a big project. So that's pretty nice. Not to mention the Jet Provost, which comes in a paint scheme that I've not had before. I do have some other Jet Provosts in the stash, but not this particular boxing, so maybe I'll do them like all together. And then of course just an extra freebie of our little patch. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my mystery bundle this time round. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this bundle. Would you be happy with what you received here? And would you consider buying something like this in the future? Obviously, what you get might not be what you saw here, and that's the sort of risk that you sort of take. If you buy a lot of Airfix kits, it's possible you'll end up with duplicates, just like I did in my previous unboxing. But this time around, not too bad. And with that, I think I'm going to call this video here. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this mystery bundle, and I'll be looking at doing some proper unboxings of each kit in the near future. As always, quick shout out to my Model Club members for the extra support they give the channel. Massive thanks to these guys on screen, and if you'd like to join them, check out the links in the description. You can help support the channel in other ways as well, and again, full information is below the video. The best way to support the channel for free though is by subscribing with notifications turned on, so you never miss a modelling upload. Finally though, last thing to say is a massive thank you to you for watching this one, and I'll catch you on the workbench again next time.